Your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic.
Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Tricia Cunningham.
Good evening, Suzette.
Well, we have a wonderful show this evening, and I think, why don't we just go right into this? Because
I think that sounds like a great plan.
I really think this is something that we actually need today. And at this time, I'd like to introduce back to the show for the third time, Dr. Megan Marco. And I said to Megan, how do we introduce you, in the show when you come on? Because she does so many different things. So Megan Marco is a licensed practitioner in acupuncture.
Yes.
Well, you're a doctor of acupuncture. That sounds about right, Megan?
Yes.
And today she is going to explain to us and tell us and show us how to feel better about ourselves every day.
That sounds great.
Okay.
That sounds great.
So Megan, why don't we start with how can we feel better right now?
Okay.
Well, we had this conversation. Let me set up the
and
show.
before we do, where is she located? We want to know
Megan, where are
who,
you
where,
located?
when, why first.
Yes.
And then we'll get into the how.
Okay, so my name is Megan Marco, Doctor of Acupuncture, licensed acupuncturist from Stonington Natural Health Center. We are located halfway between Mystic and Stonington on Route 1, right across from Cove Road at 107 Wilcox Road. You can check us out on the website at www.snhc.com.
It's a beautiful building, and I must say,
great building.
a great place. You can look, the water is right there, so you can't miss it.
Quambog Cove.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's right there off of Route 1. So we were, right before the show, just saying how busy our schedules were.
Yes.
And Megan's going to help us with that, at least help us to feel better while we
Try to manage
our schedules. So I don't even know where to start, Megan. Why don't you just kind of lead off?
Okay, well, the main practices that I do are acupuncture and oriental medicine, and with acupuncture you can always pop in and have a little tune-up. I also do oriental medicine, which there are different herbal formulas where between treatments they can keep you feeling good. Your digestion, immune system, pain relief, you name it, we have an herbal formula for it. The Chinese have been working on their herbal formulas for hundreds of years, fine-tuning the formulas so that they don't have side effects. They're a committee that comes in and they help to balance the body. I could do...
You just said a committee.
Oh, the herbal formula, I always think of the herbal formula as a committee.
Okay.
They come in, thank you
Not
for...
a committee of, I was seeing a committee of people, and then
They come in and,
leading on, I was like, well, that doesn't really make sense
This
after
is a
all.
different language.
What do you
Thank you.
mean by that?
Yeah, because I use metaphors all the time. And the herbal formulas are a committee that comes into your body. The first couple of herbs in it are the main herbs that are doing the job. Then they have support staff under them that helps them so you can digest the herbs, break them down, and helps so that the main guys aren't doing too much too. So that's the herbal formulas. Another metaphor I often use is that during acupuncture treatments, there's the cleanup crew comes into your body and they do tissue repair, and people will notice old injuries getting healed that they didn't even think about for a while. So organs and joints and stress relief are a lot of the things we work on.
So that's for with the herbs, but also with the acupuncture.
Yes.
So it's both. So how does acupuncture really work?
So you can see here our handy dandy model, and over thousands of years they mapped out the flows of energy. The energy, the Chinese call it qi, the Japanese call it ki, and it's in every single cell of the body. It's what allows us to be alive. Plants and animals have qi or ki. And the flows that are on these channels are the main flows of energy that come up to the surface. The flows then go into all the organs and all the tissues. And with acupuncture, we do acupuncture at specific points. You've heard of often of acupressure, that's doing pressure, but with acupuncture we can hold the point in for longer and do a whole combination of points to all interact with each other at the same time for everything that a person has going on.
Well, it's a great thing. Every person, there's always something going on. So how, if I wanted to come in, how, and I said, listen, I have digestive problems. I also, it's a very stressful life. How do you balance out that? How do you, is there something a formula that you come up with that day? Do you work with us? Is there questions and answers, like a 45-minute interview?
Yeah, the first treatment, I always go through your whole health history and we prioritize. We see what is bothering you the most, and that often is the root of what's going on. If it's stress, or if it really is that pain in the shoulder that is just so distracting that it's taking your mind off of everything else. So we want to get that to go away first.
Okay.
And then when we add, the acupuncture can be used with or without herbs, but the herbs create a synergistic effect of giving support to what we're doing, giving biochemistry to take those signals a step further.
Okay, all right. Because that's important to figure out, prioritize what you need first.
No, Megan will sit down with you kind of one-on-one and really go over, because I've gone to see Megan as well, and so she'll sit down and kind of go over what's bothering you, what's going on in your life right now, what are you trying to focus on, and kind of will pick and choose what she's going to do during that treatment time and how she's going to evaluate that and what she's going to do to help fix it. And I had back injuries, and that's one of my chronic issues, and you too.
Right.
And I can tell you, if I go in there, I will come back. The pain is helped significantly. The pain, I leave feeling probably about 70 or 80% better than when I went in, which is terrific. So with helping with pain.
And so how that happens, because it's pretty amazing, how does it help with pain? The Chinese say that, let's say, it's the back, that
like the lower back, right?
Inflammation that's going on, they'll call it a stagnation or blockage of the flow of qi and blood. And so what we're doing is moving that qi and blood. What's going on from a more Western viewpoint is getting those muscles to relax, so that that stuck blood that's been there can leave and fresh blood and nutrients can come in and do that tissue repair we're talking about. Increasing endorphin levels, your natural anti-inflammatories. They're also the happy neurotransmitter, so people leave feeling more content, uplifted. And the acupuncture balances biochemistry throughout the whole body, so that helps with brain, happiness, thyroid, adrenals, just getting it all balanced.
Yeah, you definitely leave feeling like a different person, much more relaxed and calmer, and it's absolutely worth the time that it takes to go in and schedule that. So, because it's very effective, very effective.
Now, how many treatments would you suggest? How does that work? Trying to figure out, in a busy schedule, is it 2 times, 1 time, or is that really up to the patient? Or
well, coming in at all is better than never. And so people are going to say, well, if I can only come in sporadically, is that even worth it? Yes, definitely, because every time you come in, a shift is going to happen, positive things are going to happen. If someone has an injury, we'll often group treatments close together because it does have a slow and steady pace to it. Like I sometimes think of the tortoise and the hare. It's the pace of the tortoise, the way the body mends itself naturally, and then acupuncture helps to speed it up a little bit. It helps to initiate the healing and speed up the healing process.
Are you finding a lot more people aware of what you do and your facility does, or are you finding people sort of looking back and saying,
over the past 5 or 6 years, what has been the general response?
just there's so much positive media about acupuncture and massage. Massage is a part of the treatments, as well as we have massage therapists available outside of the treatments. And so there's been a lot of people doing research through the internet and in the mainstream media as they're seeing that acupuncture is available or helpful. They have been seeking us out. Occasionally, someone be like, needles, and then just educating them on, I wish they were not called needles. They are so thin. Unfortunately, that was the name that was given to them.
Right.
That, because people think of getting shots, and they're nothing.
It's not nearly the same as getting a shot.
No. Now, what other stuff have you? I mean, you've got all kinds of different things here, Megan.
Yeah. So we carry a lot of really great things from all avenues to help people. I have people that I have a lot of children that come in now to see me for attention, for stress, anxiety, allergies, eczema, even autism are things I work with. And so we carry a line of flower essence sprays, which are good for both adults and children, and they can be very calming for children too. And they'll often leave with some of these so that when they're feeling overwhelmed, they can do a spray of that over them. And
what about that?
Invite
like the
you
sense
each
that
this is
makes
really
it
nice.
calming.
So these have organic essential oils and flower essences in them. Lavender is one of them in that. It's a combination. So it
fantastic.
resets the energetic grids around someone so they can feel more grounded and calm.
I want to make sure I stay awake for the show. But I feel just having Megan, just your voice is very calming. Just you sitting next to us is very calming. This is beautiful.
Thank you. So that's one of the things. I now carry organic tinctures, and this is a children's one that is for colds and flu. And preventatively, you can do a little squirt of this, and I'll pass this around too because it's great during this season. This one is glycerite, so you just tilt your head back and do a little squirt, and it tastes really good, actually.
No, that one actually tastes good because I know some tinctures are not necessarily meant to be tasty.
Yeah. And so that one has herbs in it.
I'd rather have the children's one.
Yeah. And I love that one. I'm
So you take a whole squeeze?
So that's sort of a preventative, especially this time of year when the kids are in school.
Ooh,
And that is really, this is great. This is great.
So that goes in and that zaps bacteria and viruses. So like you could give that to your kids or yourself in the morning or at night and just to stay healthy.
And do that preventatively. What is in here that, so echinacea, so it's a lot of echinacea, okay. And that's one of the big things that people usually take, so all right.
And then I do carry lots of different things in tablet form. Some people don't want to have that flavor so much. The tablets are great. You just get it down. There's a formula, Ilex, that does the same thing from a Chinese perspective. I brought a couple of in tincture form or pill form. This formula, Beyond Pion, it's a natural antihistamine formula. So I get people off of the Allegra, Zyrtec, all that stuff, and they find that
medicines, this is much better.
This works better. They don't feel drowsy, no side effects, and it does that same antihistamine thing, but from a herbal perspective doing it. And these actually have aromatic herbs in them to open everything that way. Another formula I just happened to grab, Curing Formula, helps when the stomach feels a little upset. It has a calming effect, whether it's from nervousness, hangover, or just stress, whatever is causing it.
Now, how do some of these herbal medicines, do they work instantly, or do you have to take them consistently?
Or with other
or partner them with something
else?
Yeah,
some of them are like that, where we'll do a couple of different formulas to be specific for the person. A formula like this one, it just takes as long as it takes to get in the digestion, so 10 or 15 minutes, and it's working. And then others, they do need to build up, like for something more chronic, like high blood pressure, I'll have someone take that 3 times a day because we just need that biochemistry to come in to shift things to get the blood pressure to come down. So it's nice when people come in before they're on pharmaceuticals. If they are on pharmaceuticals, I work with them for where they are now. And Yeah.
And put a plan together for them to kind of come off of those pharmaceuticals and have a more natural, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think this is a maintenance thing too. I mean, a lot of people
Forget that.
right, they do.
Yeah.
They forget that because they're so busy. But this other side of it is that people want an instant. They want to feel better right away, and I don't think they realize that you just have to just take time out and maintain and really take care of your body, mind, and soul. And so I think that's where you come in and teach people exactly to do that.
Yeah, because Megan really looks at the whole picture.
Right,
You know,
right.
the body, mind, spirit. She looks
Right.
at the whole picture when she's.
Well, when you were
treating
talking
you.
about just some of these allergy medicines and even just taking an Advil for a headache or just, it's so instant to just grab one of those, aspirins when there might be even something masking that whole thing. I mean, if you're taking an aspirin or let's say Advil every day for a headache, there's
something else
There's
we need to
something else
evaluate
going
then.
on.
Yeah.
It could be eyesight. It could be,
Neck
stress
tension,
and neck,
yeah.
whatever. So, my suggestion is that you do see Dr. Megan Marcos and see what's going on, because I hear that, within my store. Had a headache last night, woke up with a headache, and then there's the pills.
Well, and then one of the things I wanted to
And
ask
it's
Megan
instant.
is Advil versus something why would
Right.
someone go for one of these herbal formulas as opposed to grabbing something off the counter at the local drugstore?
So people will come in with, I'm taking this, what can I take instead? And ethically, I cannot take anyone off of something that they're prescribed.
Right.
They have to do that with the advice of their doctor. But I can help them start feeling better so that they can do that transition. And the equivalent of ibuprofen, Advil, and even things stronger than that is an herbal formula that we carry called Coridalis. And Coridalis, it goes to those nerve endings and gets the pain to go away, just like those other drugs do, but it does not cause ulcers. It's not harmful to the liver or the kidneys, and it's a favorite formula of so many of us, where you could take one or two with a headache, or for menstrual cramps, or for back pain, or for any type of pain, and it actually goes to the area and helps to heal it. It's pretty magical that way.
Now, all of this medicine, is it available at your center?
Yes.
Okay, and it has to be just like you have to write it sort of a script, or is that?
Not necessarily. With some of these, they're pretty straightforward, that if someone has allergies, they can pop in and get the Beyond Pion formula. If they have a more complicated case and they'd like to sit down with me, we can do a half-hour consultation and make sure that it is the right formula for them. But if they're hearing about this on the show and they say, yes, I
Yes.
want to get Coridalis, yes, definitely, please come in. We have
Okay.
all of this in the herbal dispensary.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what are your hours? We talked about where you're located, but what are your hours in the center?
I'm in Monday through Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are daytime. Tuesday, Thursday are afternoon, evening. To get people for after work, we have 5, 5:30, 6, and 6:30 openings.
Lots of different time slots for different
Right.
people's schedules.
But suggested appointments, obviously.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Yep. Yeah.
suggested.
Yeah. So one.
You absolutely have to make an appointment to
Yeah.
see the doctor.
Yeah. So, because I think sometimes people think they can just walk in and it's better that you make an appointment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first appointment is 2 hours, so you pretty
The
much.
first appointment's 2 hours.
Yes, which sounds like a long time, but when you're in the midst of it, it just flies by because it includes
Okay.
the whole intake, which is a half hour to 45 minutes. Then the acupuncture treatment when you feel way better than you've ever thought you would have with how relaxed you get. And then it ends with a massage, and then we follow up at the end with
That's
treatment
within the
plan.
2 hours.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's very comprehensive. She takes very good care of you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
And then future treatments, we say to allow 90 minutes. Although we do have some treatments that could be more pop-in for people, which are acupuncture in the waiting area. Those treatments are only $25.
Okay.
They're still full body, and it's good to call just to let me know that the person is coming.
Right.
But they balance the whole body, reduce stress, reduce pain, and a great introduction to acupuncture if someone wants to just try it out also.
Well, it's interesting, though, hearing that you're also seeing a lot of children coming into the center, too. I mean, that's very interesting.
I think
Yeah.
what
So
people probably
different.
like about this is it's non-invasive.
Right.
You know, the treatment is non-invasive, and it's very, just very natural.
And the children love it. At first, they're nervous.
Right.
And I highly recommend that the parent has a treatment first, so that they can explain it, and the child doesn't think there's something wrong with me. This is why it's. But they realize, no, this is something that we all do to stay healthy, which is true. And when the child comes in. The children that are all coming to me right now, it's one of the highlights of their week, if not the
It's
highlight.
probably the highlight of yours too, in many respects. I
Yeah,
bet.
I love seeing them as they shift also. Children shift very quickly. They're receptive to it.
Now, it's a known fact that men do not like to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Are you finding that you have a lot more women patients than you do men?
I think so. We do. Men get motivated with pain. They come
Okay.
in when they have pain. Women come in for a much more variety of issues.
And maintenance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we got to get the men on board.
We do.
Yeah.
I know.
'Cause that's
It's
just
it's
another
almost
whole
impossible.
clientele.
Could you imagine us getting Chuck or Keith there?
No.
No, exactly.
No,
I mean,
no.
it's just
But-
a challenge.
but the thing of it is, if you
it's just
go-
this whole mental thing.
Yeah.
You got to get through that.
Right. And how do you, I guess that's probably seeing you in the consultation. But you're right, they react
It has nothing to
when-
do with the acupuncture. It's just
Right.
an appointment in general for fixing
right.
something, because that would have to mean that something's wrong.
Right.
That's
And
the problem.
nothing has to be
Nothing's
wrong.
with
Yeah.
the guy.
that.
Right. Right.
Well, and for acupuncture, nothing has to be wrong. So
That's true.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so there are couples that come in. They'll come in at the same time and then go out to dinner afterwards. That could be a way to get them to come
There
in.
you go.
But are
There's
you
the hook.
seeing more men, though, Megan? Are you seeing more men? But predominantly women are coming in.
It's hard to say. I mean, men definitely for pain
Pain.
relief, as I said, but like you're right, they won't come in so much for maintenance necessarily.
Well, we got to change that.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're missing.
because it makes the women happier too.
Right. Well, yeah. If they're in, if they don't have any pain and they're in a good mood, I mean,
Yep.
that goes both
It
ways.
does.
It really
Absolutely.
does go both ways. So, what else do you have? I mean, I know that
Oh,
you brought in.
Yes, I have acupuncture needles so that we
Okay.
can do at some sample points. And
Okay.
would you guys like to
Sure.
experience?
You know, I'm always willing to be your guinea
Okay.
pig.
Okay.
What about
and
you?
then when you're
Seth?
ready too.
Sure.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay, so I need both of your elbows.
Okay.
With my treatments, elbows down
Elbows
is great.
Okay.
And I'll start with Trisha.
Okay.
And
You
as
can
long as I
follow
can.
You have
the
enough
mic?
room
Yes,
there?
I think I
Sure.
do. Okay.
And then we're going to do some nice stress relief points
Just
here.
talking to the mic. Yep, that's.
And the little tube that the point is in, the needles are so thin that the
Here, look
You
at
tube
how-
see, there's a little
shininess there.
thing
Right
hanging
here.
off, and it doesn't hurt at all.
And I should do the one on your hand also.
Okay.
If I can lean
Yeah,
over
sure.
and then we
Yeah,
can really.
And you can see what she's doing here.
So there's
Yeah,
a
we're
little
right
tube
there.
that helps the point to go in. It's also for distraction. And are those comfortable?
See that? Yep.
Okay.
Wow, right there. You can see it right there on the camera.
I just moved it. Yeah.
There we
that's
go.
better. Thank you. So you can see that, and when I moved it, I messed around with it. So then I felt a little twinge of something. So Megan kind of adjusted it and fixed that right up for me. So
And good sensations there are warmth, tingling, sometimes a little zing, an ache. However, if it ever feels sharp, that means that it's in the wrong spot. It needs to be adjusted. So there should never be discomfort with it.
Okay.
Ready?
So
Oh, yeah,
keep
sure.
that in mind. There shouldn't be, if it is uncomfortable, let her know and she'll adjust it, and then it
Right.
feels good.
and
I
sometimes there's just
didn't feel that at all.
yeah. So the little tube.
I actually did not feel that at all. So
Excellent.
I don't know. Maybe that's no.
That means that I'm doing a good job.
Now you can see right there, Megan, right there on the camera here. So there's
Oh,
a
yes.
needle right here, and then of course you can see that it's got a good view of it. Thank you, Frank.
Right
That was
here.
right. That was great. So this is actually
To disperse
Wow.
stress from the body, to create space so that you feel more comfort and relaxed.
And typically, obviously we're doing this for about maybe
Right.
not even 5 minutes,
Right.
but a short time. But typically we would be able to sit through a whole session where
Ooh.
there'd be several points.
And usually, yeah, you get to close your eyes and drift off and take a little nap. And people are often
That's like nap.
quite a
Nap,
little
that's
sleep
sounding
deprived.
really good. Speaking of that, sleep deprived. Do you help people with?
Oh yes, insomnia, sleep
Insomnia,
problems. Acupuncture is phenomenal for
For that, okay.
Yeah.
So what do people come in the most for? If out of like taking a look at, you know, your client list.
So
What is
yes,
the most common thing that people come in for?
stress relief, pain relief, IBS, fertility, and
Wow, fertility.
pediatrics now, and acupuncture facelifts.
Oh, that's right.
Do you
You
want
had
to
talked
say
about that
that?
at one
Again,
point.
now, explain that. We have about 5 minutes. I'd like to hear
Okay.
about that.
So the acupuncture facelifts are a lot of fun, and it's like molding the face with the acupuncture. I have patients that have done the Western route with their face, and I have patients that have never done that and declare never going to. So it can be either way. And what the acupuncture does, we do a full body treatment because we want the body to be in balance. That health radiates out through the face, you know, more color, more happiness. That shows up, but then specifically on the face, I do points for defining here, cheekbones, tiny little points in different creases to build collagen and naturally push the wrinkles
That's
out.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then rolling, we do a rolling and then pinning so that instead of it being a surgery to
Right.
hold it up, energetically, people notice that it's all lifting.
Now, how many treatments do you have to do before you actually?
That's a more dedicated series. That's
Okay.
a series of 12 to 15 treatments.
Okay.
I've had people do less and still notice great results. So, you know, we work with a person's budget also, but to get the full effect, 12 to 15 within 4 to 6 weeks. And then after
Okay.
that, it's a really good idea to come in once a month for a tune-up. And the treatments are amazing. People, they notice just more color, feeling better about themselves, and they're just shining. They're just glowing.
See, I've heard of acupuncture, but never in that
In that sense.
in that
for that
sense
purpose,
too.
yeah.
For that, but that has to be fairly new, or
It's
no?
actually it's ancient, but,
But
it's been brought to the U.S. within the
Right.
last 10 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get. You probably have a lot of clients that want to do that.
That's going to be a growing market of
That's
hers,
going to between the
definitely.
children and that. That's going to
Yeah.
be a very big market for you. Megan. Well, we only have a few minutes, and I'm feeling very
I'm
just
chilled out.
chilled here.
So tell us again where you're
Where you're
located,
located.
what's
Okay.
your website, and how people can reach you.
So, Megan Marco, Doctor of Acupuncture, licensed acupuncturist. You can find me. My phone number is 860-536-3880. Website is www.snhc.com. And do we have time to do like a little breathing exercise?
Oh, sure. Let's
Sure,
close
let's
it out
just
with the
close it.
breathing.
We're gonna
'cause
close it out
sounds
with the breathing.
wonderful.
Okay, so just something that all of you at home can do.
Great.
Put your feet on the ground and notice your ground right there. And you can close your eyes if you'd like, or keep them open looking at the screen. And just take a nice deep breath in. And just come totally present to this moment, feeling your body, bringing all pieces of yourself that are out there scattered in the world to this present moment right here. And you can imagine that you can breathe in and out of all the pores of your body.
We're going to leave you with Dr. Megan Marco. Good evening, Trish.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good to go, Frank.
Soul and spirit fly
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic.